We're going to disembark at the Royal Navy Dockyard, more specifically at Heritage Wharf, which is at the extreme western tip of the island. The Royal Navy Dockyard was an active Navy base from 1815 to the 1960s. This part of Bermuda is known as Ireland Island. The dockyard was in use during the American Civil War, supplying the Confederacy with needed supplies. Of course, the British ships had to run the gauntlet of the American blockade. My great-grandfather received cash bounties for capturing 3 of these blockade runners. Tying the Norwegian Dawn up at the dock is a dangerous and complicated maneuver. Let's disembark from the ship and explore this part of the island. There's a grand fortress to our right, an arena, a white sandy beach, and the former administration offices for the British Royal Navy, and many shops and restaurants. It doesn't take long to realize that we're not in the US anymore. Just next to the marina is the Clock Tower Mall, with over 24 unique shops to wander through.
Now we have 22 stores inside of the Clock Tower Mall here. We also have a lovely house-sized ice cream shop in the mall as well.
Juan de Bermudez discovered the island in 1505. But European settlers didn't arrive on it until 1609. It seems a British ship was caught in a hurricane and crashed into the rocky shore, thus claiming the British sovereignty of the island. Today, Bermuda remains the oldest and most populous remaining British overseas territory. Many visitors rent motor scooters on the island, but we were advised by the ship's tour director that riding on Bermuda narrow roads is very dangerous. As one leaves the ship, just opposite the fortress, is a building housing the Frog and Onion restaurant and an extensive craft market. Behind this building is the old military parade ground, once a part of the huge Navy Yard here. These buildings were officers' quarters and food warehouses. I've heard that Bermuda beaches are magnificent, so let's go visit one. This is Snorkel Park Beach, at the very tip of the island. It is a white sand beach festooned with palm trees. There's a restaurant and bar, live music day and night, and great snorkeling in the clear aqua ocean. Bermuda's National Museum is located in the stone fort at the tip of the Royal Naval Dockyard. The Commissioner's House is located at the highest point of the site. It was built in 1827 to house the Commissioner of the Dockyard. As you can see, the cruise ships can dock quite nearby. From here, the visitor is able to see all the military buildings of this 12-acre fortress. The grass is always well trimmed and fertilized by a small herd of goats. Inside the house is the Commissioner's room, where many a lavish meal was enjoyed by British naval personnel. The 7 irregular bastions had heavy guns including 24 and 32-pounder cannons, 8-inch shell guns, and 6-inch breech loaders.
St. George Town?
Yeah.
We have rented a cab to go to Hamilton, Bermuda. Of course, the steering wheel is on the right side and people drive on the left, so we'll leave the driving to the cabbie. Our first stop is at Michael Douglas and Catherine Zeta-Jones' home. We didn't get past the front gate, but here it is anyway. Bermuda has 2 towns of note, St. George and its capital Hamilton. Though not large by American standards, they nevertheless are the focal point of culture, government, finance, and entertainment on the island. The 2 main streets of Hamilton are Front Street, which borders Hamilton Harbor, and Church Street, where the Anglican Cathedral and City Hall are located. Here on Front Street are the exclusive shops including Marks and Spencer's, mentioned many times in the BBC hit comedy Are You Being Served? Tourism took hold in Hamilton late in the 19th century, so shops increased along Front and Queen Streets. Today, these shops sell luxury goods such as British fine china, glassware, cashmere sweaters, perfumes, and cosmetics. The architecture of Hamilton is somewhat eclectic, but there is an amazing palette of colors on the buildings. Since motorbikes don't have a place to store helmets, many Bermudians walk around town still wearing them. All right, let's do a little wave. Little wave. As we walk down Church Street, Hamilton's Town Hall is visible on the left. It opened in 1960 and has a quintessential Bermudian style of architecture. If you've watched my videos in the past, you know I love to visit the churches of any town I go to. Here is Hamilton's Anglican Cathedral. After a fire destroyed the first church, it was rebuilt in 1911 and is today the official bishopric seat of the Anglican Church. We're off again by bus. Now it's time to visit Bermuda's Crystal Caves. It is Bermuda's oldest living treasure and must not be missed by the visitor to the island. We're descending into a natural limestone cavern, which is connected to the ocean by an underlying network of passageways. Here we will see a mind-boggling amount of white stalactites, helictite formations, and soda straws hanging from the ceiling. Two boys discovered the cave while looking for a lost cricket ball in 1905.
Up above the retaining wall, that's where the cave was discovered. In 1905, two boys were playing cricket. One of them by accident lost the cricket ball. While they're looking for it,
The water at the bottom of the cave is crystal clear. It is partly fresh water and partly seawater. We are walking on floating bridges which span the 55-foot deep azure blue underground lake. Objects on the bottom can be seen quite easily in the clear water. Crystal Cave and nearby Fantasy Cave have become Bermuda's most visited attraction. Thousands of visitors come here each year to view the 30-million-year-old fantasy of Mother Nature. It is a somewhat arduous climb down and back up again. But our guide is in his 70s and he does it several times a day. On the way back up, he stops the ascent for a few minutes so everyone can catch a breath. The cave is about 120 feet below ground level, with this dramatic formation of stalactites and stalagmites, which are crystal-like pointed structures naturally formed out of limestone rocks. The view in this cave is quite fantastic. As we prepared to leave port to go back to Boston, the enthusiastic crew welcomed us back on board with lively song and dance.
Angel.
Can't dance if you remix it.